And joining us now is Republican Representative Nicole Malliotakis. Thank you so much for being here with us. I just want to get right into it. We mentioned President Trump coming into office soon, and he has said they will do something about this. On your end, as a Republican representative, what do you guys plan on doing to probably change this, or if you can even change this?
Well, like everything else, right, we're seeking President Trump and the Republicans to step in on the federal level to fix a problem that was created by the Democrats at the local level. The reality is that the state of New York, the legislature and the governor should repeal this because it is not a good policy at this time. It is going to cost commuters thousands of dollars at a time when the transit system is not safe, period. They had murders just in the last couple of weeks, including a woman lit on fire, and Kathy Hochul is trying to push people onto the subway system. People want to ride the subway, make it safe. That's number one. And number two, if they're going to raise $1 billion, obviously it's not going to reduce congestion because they wouldn't be raising that type of revenue. They need the cars to come through to do that. So this is nothing but a cash grab that doesn't actually address the issue of congestion at all. It may shift it around a little bit, but it's not going to resolve it. What I would say is on the federal level, we will use every legal and legislative angle we have to try to clean up the mess that Kathy Hochul has created here. We have a pending lawsuit. Myself, Borough President Vito Fossella, the UFT in New York, my colleague Josh Gottheimer and his colleagues in New Jersey have one as well. Sadly, the judges did not issue a restraining order, a temporary injunction to pause congestion pricing while our case is heard. But we will have our day in court. And the reality is that this was done in violation of the National Environmental Policy Act. The Biden administration rubber-stamped congestion pricing for Kathy Hochul without requiring a full and thorough environmental impact statement as required by federal law. And so we do think we have a good lawsuit on merit. And not to mention that our lawsuit also talks about shifting to working class communities outside of this zone. Sure. Okay, and so these environmental justice warriors that are out there, where are they today when they see that minority communities, working class communities in our city are now going to see traffic shifted to them, increasing pollution, air quality outside of this zone and in the outer boroughs? The other thing is, okay, go ahead.
I was going to say one of the other things is bringing New Jersey into it when we were talking about the environmental impact. I mean, we saw lawyers representing New Jersey this past week tried these 11th hour appeals to the courts that did not work. Do you guys think there's another avenue into getting something like that to finally work, especially with the federal judge saying, you know, New Jersey wasn't treated fairly and getting some of the remediation money that's needed for the impact that it might feel if people divert and go into places like Bergen County?
Well, I think that the legal case continues. We will still have our day in court to be able to make these arguments that they are unfairly treating the communities outside of the zone and the neighboring state. But the other thing is that I did speak with President Trump last week. He is as committed as we are to finding an angle to stop congestion pricing. Personally, I think that he has the ability to basically null what Joe Biden and his Federal Highway Administration had put in place by rubber stamping this proposal and directing the MTA to conduct an environmental impact statement as is required by the National Environmental Policy Act, which I just mentioned. And so we're going to look for every angle. I'm also going to be reintroducing my legislation that would prohibit congestion pricing programs throughout the country, not just in New York City. And I'm working with the chairman of the Transportation Committee to advance that legislation. I also think that if the MTA wants to play this game, they should come before Congress and they should justify and answer questions about every single federal dollar that they receive from here on. Because what they're doing right now, taking more money from commuters, taking more money from residents and taxpayers is wrong. And we're not going to allow them to get away with this. We're going to hold them accountable. I believe there needs to be a federal audit of the MTA, and I believe Janno Lieber should come in before Congress and answer our questions and finally face some accountability, because he's not getting he's not being held accountable by the people of the state of New York under this governor Hochul who just goes along with this cash grab scheme. And so that's my position, and we'll continue to fight. But people have to recognize here, again, we're trying to find a federal solution to fix something that was broken at the state level by the governor and the Democrats that control the state legislature. And that's who people need to hold accountable here.
It is important to mention that we're seeing bipartisan, I guess, people speaking out against the program, not just, of course, support of the program, but we are seeing some Democrats, Mikey Sherrill, other people who are against the program as well. We do appreciate you, Representative Nicole Malliotakis, for speaking with us and giving us your time this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I thank those Democrats who have spoken out. Unfortunately, in New York City, I'm the only one on the federal level who has, and I wish my colleagues would join me.
That's fair. We appreciate your help.
Thank you.
We are just getting started.